Alright guys, how's it going? Now this is going to be a long video, I think. I have been to the cafe this morning, been there, bombed down there on my scooter, had some coffee, and I have reviewed today's Spanish football dailies for you, and there's quite a few things to talk about, so much so that I'm going to have to break this up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like, this video is going to be like just like a look in general as to what's been said in the Spanish football dailies today. I'm going to touch very briefly on a couple of major talking points, but I'm then going to record a couple of individual standalone videos, specifically about Luis Diaz and Mo Salah, okay? But in this video, if you don't have much time, I'm going to tell you very, very quickly, very briefly, what those claims are about, and then I'm going to go into those videos and they'll be more detailed, like they will list the wording, etc., etc. So I have a stack of notes, so you're going to have to be very patient with me with this video, okay? So each day I review the Spanish football dailies, Marca, AS, and Sports, two Real Madrid papers, if you like, one Barcelona. Not because we take what they say as gospel, but because the grown-ups like to see what's being claimed over here, and just see what the fuckers are saying, really. But to be honest with you, it's more to do with keeping an eye on Real Madrid and Trent, but we also keep an eye on Luis Diaz, as you know, if you follow these videos, and Barcelona. I've been making certain calls about him, and when I say calls, I don't mean on the blower, I mean certain predictions and things, and so far, they've been right. I'm not looking for like a trophy or anything, I'm just saying this is what I think we'll see, and that's happened. And we're seeing him again today. There's some significant stuff that I want to speak to you about. But I also like to keep an eye on Zubimendi, Kubo, Mamadashvili, my boy Aspas at Celta Vigo, and just any other thing that could be relevant to Liverpool. And also see what they're saying about like last night's game, for example. They touch on last night's game between Liverpool and Everton. So let's get into the video, right? So if you are here to see if there's anything to do with Trent and Real Madrid, there is nothing in any of the Spanish football dailies regarding Trent Alexander-Arnold and Real Madrid. There are claims that Barcelona remain very interested in Luis Diaz and that he is very keen on the idea of playing for them, given the opportunity. If the opportunity presents itself, Luis Diaz wants to play for Barcelona. It's a detailed report. I will go into it in depth in a standalone video. But if you want to know roughly what this article here says, it is that Barcelona are interested in him. They talk about other players as well. But basically, Diaz is very, very keen on going to Barcelona. There's also talk relating to Mo Salah and his agent. What's his agent called? Run me a bath. I can't think of his name. Run me a bath. Rami Abbas. It's this article here. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. I don't know. Am I doing it right? There we go. Can you? It doesn't matter. Right. I'll tell you what that article says. It's a detailed article. And in this article, it's claimed that Rami Abbas is working in the shadows. He's working discreetly in the background, offering his client to Barcelona. It's claimed he offered Mo Salah to Barcelona. There's reference to November, and Barcelona, considered it, have looked at the situation, but they've got all sorts of things. They haven't got the financial worries anymore, but they've still got this 1-1 rule, right? One out, one in kind of thing, and they can't be reckless, okay? So, but then it goes on to say that more recently, Abbas has offered Mo Salah to Real Madrid, and that Salah, if he has to leave Liverpool, wants to stay in Europe ahead of a possible switch to Saudi Arabia, and if a contract proposal comes in from Perez at Real Madrid, Salah would be up for going to Real Madrid, and that's coming from the Barcelona publication Sport. So it's not like a a propaganda piece from the Real Madrid side of things. Barcelona say, hey, you know, his agents offered him to us, blah, blah, blah. But he's now offering him to Real Madrid, basically. That, in a nutshell, that's the things about Diaz and Salah. But I think if you get an opportunity to watch the other videos, you might find them more of interest. I'm just trying to save time. We're already at 5 minutes. So I'll record specific videos about them. Otherwise, you know, we're going to be here forever. So Diaz still on Barcelona's list of very serious contenders to go there. And Mo Salah's agent apparently doing things in the background, which you'd expect him to do anyway, but trying to generate interest in his client to see if they would be interested in taking him in Spain, with Real Madrid sounding like a preferred destination. And some of you will remember, do you remember the Egyptian plan? I think if you were to go on coptalk.com and search the Egyptian plan, you remember that's what the plan was years ago, was to get to Real Madrid. You know, for many, many reasons to do with business and politicians, you know, in Egypt, you know, getting an Egyptian player at Real Madrid and blah, blah. Long story, you know, it never came about. But, you know, do you remember during the pandemic, you know, when he weren't supposed to be really talking to anyone, and Mo Salah, who was a very private individual, do you remember him suddenly doing the sit-down interview, you know, with the Spanish media? Do you remember all that? It was a bit obvious, you know, at the time. Anyway, I think Salah wants to stay at Liverpool. I think you would agree with me. I'm not concerned, to be honest with you. I think he stays, because I think there'd be fucking hell on if he didn't. But is his agent offering him to try and put pressure on Liverpool, or is this genuine? We'll talk about it in the standalone videos after this one. Don't forget, I'll be live on here today at 1 o'clock this afternoon, and possibly 6:37ish tonight as well. Okay, I will try and get on to other things that are in the papers as well. Marker touch on Everton's controversial equaliser in last night's Merseyside derby. They write, Everton drew 2-2 in the last Goodison Park derby with a controversial goal from Tarkowski in the 97th minute, when the referee had only allowed 5 minutes of added time. The match, which was supposed to have been played on the 7th of December, was a thrilling affair. Football, hard play and goals, and Liverpool, who, after this draw, are only, and that's said with sarcasm, 7 points above Arsenal. After the game finished, there was a brawl and 3 red cards. If you watched my morning briefing today, I had a bet on the game last night. I thought it would kick off last night, with it being the last game, and I backed a player from each side to be sent off. But it has to happen during the game. After the game, it didn't happen. So I was thinking, I wonder if I win. It would have been 500 fucking euros. So yeah, I was, fucking hell. Anyway, yeah, they touch on the brawl. I love it when it fucking kicks off, me. I know you'll be like, oh yeah, but it's not right, it's not fair. I know, I'm just saying I like a good fucking punch up on pitch. That's all I'm saying. Martin Zubimendi's Real Sociedad are in Europa League action today. They're playing away from home against FC Midtjylland. I can't remember how to pronounce that. I know that we are having to do that a few years ago. And they're hoping to progress to the last 16. Zubimendi should be involved, but there's a suggestion that the manager could rotate his other midfielders. Moving on to AS, I know that's not how you pronounce it. Someone pulled me up recently. It's not called AS. But if you pronounce it as it's properly pronounced in Castellano, in Espanol, YouTube thinks that I'm talking about a certain part of the body, and it can restrict your videos, bizarrely. So I call it AS. And they have an article titled Guardiola Hits Rock Bottom, which says Pep's project collapses, 15 points behind Liverpool in the Premier League and with an ageing squad, as Rafa Benitez would say, squad, for sure. There's a reference in AS regarding Frankie de Jong. Now, there was a ridiculous piss-poor link between ourselves and the player earlier in the week, which you might have seen, which originated from a very speculative Spanish outlet that claimed Liverpool were negotiating with Barcelona and were at an advanced stage. Now, today, Deco, the Barcelona sporting director, says they are focused on renewing his contract. And he is quoted as saying, for me, Frankie is a great footballer. He himself he himself is frustrated that he has not won as many titles at Barca as he thought. That means he wants to continue. We want players who want to win titles. Now, De Jong started the season injured and there was doubts hanging over him. However, AS right that he's gaining weight. I know that feeling. And his renewal is now a primary objective. Now, Deco is doing the media rounds at the moment, giving various interviews and commenting on various players. So he's going around all the the publications and radio and things like that. So you may hear things, which is going to be interesting when we get on to the edition of Sport today, the Pro Barcelona publication, because although he doesn't speak specifically about Luis Diaz, immediately after their interview, there's then stuff about Luis Diaz. So you might think that they've got that from him, right? So we'll get to that shortly. Now, he didn't, nowhere in the interview did he mention, hang on a minute. In the coverage in AS, as part of his media rounds, if you like, Deco didn't mention Luis Diaz, right? He didn't mention Luis Diaz, and he also didn't mention Virgil van Dijk. I don't really want to mention Van Dijk, because like the De Jong chatter, it came from a very speculative outlet that I personally wouldn't pay attention to. So it was claimed that Virgil was, now on Barcelona's radar, etc., etc., etc. I haven't touched on it in any video. A load of shite. Virgil van Dijk, De Jong, mentioned with Liverpool, just coming from shitty outlets. Do you know what I mean? But still, people talk about it, and I like to, to put people. I try and put people right, trying to explain where they're coming from. I always say, you make your own minds up, but I'll say, well, this is where it's come from, kind of thing. I try to help you. So, however, Diaz is a player that Barcelona had a strong interest during the summer, and Deco is a known admirer of him. Diaz continues to be mentioned with Barcelona every now and then. So that's why I've been monitoring that for you. I don't want to go too much into it in this video. I will do it in the specific Luis Diaz video. Linked with Chelsea as well by these shysters a couple of days ago. Diaz is yet to extend his contract with Liverpool. I think that there's a very good chance that he could be sold in the summer by Liverpool. And that's why I've been monitoring Sport in particular for you to see how, he keeps getting a little mention here and there, and he does get mentioned today. So let's move on. AS touch on Liverpool's game against Everton and say chaos prevailed, drama won. The headline was simple: goal in the 98th, they say, pitch invasion and VAR. Now, moving on to Sport. Now, Sport has an in-depth interview with Deco, right? So he's doing the media rounds. He's obviously going to have a sit-down with Sport. It's front page. It takes up 6 pages inside. It's very detailed. It's not like huge photographs. Fucking zillions of questions, right? Zillions of questions. So an interview with them was always going to happen. It's, like I say, a very detailed 6-page spread. And I have reviewed every single fucking word. I swear it took me ages just to see if there was anything about Diaz or anything that might, connect that type of player. Fuck me, man. Seriously, it took forever. And I am feeling sorry for myself because some of the translations weren't working. I had to get help, I put a lot of fucking effort into these videos, right? I'm telling you. So, in that interview, he doesn't mention Diaz. But after that interview, there is the article that was on the screen previously. Let's have a look. I want to show you this one. I don't know if I can... Why does it never work? Can you see that? There we go. I want to zoom in on that though. There we go. So there you've got Diaz and 3 players that Barcelona are said to be considering, right? It's actually titled, it says here, Amor a tres bandas del Barça, a 3-way love affair for Barca. Now, this article discusses Barcelona's search for a new forward, highlighting 3 main targets: Alexander Isak, Luis Diaz, and Benjamin Sesko, I think that is, at Leipzig. Now, they write that Sport has learned that Barca has already made some initial contact with Isak, the Isak camp, and they add informally, always informally. And at that first approach, it was confirmed that Isak would like to wear the Barcelona shirt, right? And they add, beyond that initial contact, which took place at the end of 2024, Barca has not taken further steps, right? Okay. Now, on Diaz, they write down here, I don't know if you can, you won't be able to see that, mejor contexto, which translates, if you like, in football in terms to better circumstances, more feasible option, easier negotiation, favourable scenario, which choose one of those, whichever you want. And that then focuses on Luis Diaz, all right? So what they're saying is, main man, we'd have him all day long, but they go in the article, which I'll go over in this video about Diaz, they're saying that he would be, it would be a difficult operation to sign him, especially because of the money involved and still the requirements that Barcelona have to have this 1-1 situation with finances. They talk about Luis Diaz being, you know, the more feasible option, like I said, easier negotiations, a more favourable scenario. And they say he would be thrilled to sign for Barcelona for both personal and professional reasons. They say that, well, I suppose I will go into this more in the other video. Isak would undoubtedly be the preferred choice in an ideal situation, but Diaz's contractual situation and his huge desire to play for Barca make his signing a slightly less complicated option compared to the Swedish striker. So the Luis Diaz stuff, still, I think it's genuine, guys. You know, you remember in the, I talk about it in the other video, but, you know, in the summer, I think they would have signed him if they could have done it in the summer, you know, they had all the financial stuff going on. Now, let's move on from Diaz and we will jump forward to more Salah. Please, just, I'm doing this left-handed. I don't know if you can, where is he? There he is, the fucker. Oh, gosh. Right, can't do it. Fucking useless sometimes, me. But is it me, or is it just that making the fucking, you know what I mean, like making its own mind up? I just wanted to make it a little bit bigger. That's what she, that's what she said. I heard it was all about the girth. Anyway, I can't do it. So, you can see that's more Salah. I suppose it doesn't really. I just wanted to make the picture a bit bigger. So anyway, Sport again, the pro Barcelona newspaper, basically touching that on November 5th, Mo Salah's name was on the table for Barcelona sporting directors as a possible transfer target for this summer coming, not for January, for this summer coming as a free. 2 months later, Sport can confirm that Salah is still considering leaving the Premier League, because obviously he hasn't signed a new deal yet, to take on one last short-term challenge in Europe before eventually heading to Saudi Arabia. Now, again, I'm going to go over this in detail. We're already at 20 minutes. In this article, it basically says, hey, you know, his agent's operating, you know, what was the word they used? Discreetly. The agent is discreetly making moves in the background, basically offering his client, trying to generate interest in his client, which, you know, an agent, that's his job. That's what he's got to do. Is he trying to generate interest purely to put pressure on Liverpool, or is he doing it as a possible option? Or is he doing it because his client wants to go to these clubs? I would say it's the first two. I would say that it's to put pressure on Liverpool. I would say it's also common sense that an agent needs to, you know, to reach out to other clubs in case something does go wrong with Liverpool. You know, we used to speak about the Egyptian plan that Mo Salah's, plan during his career was to go to Real Madrid one day. It's never presented itself. In this article, it says that Mo Salah would absolutely be up for Real Madrid if a concrete offer comes from Florentino Perez, but they'd have to get rid of someone to make that happen. And the interesting thing is, it's the pro-Barcelona publication say, so it's not Real Madrid propaganda, like, oh, he wants to come and play for us, because we're such a great club. This is the Barcelona media saying, hey, like, he was offered to us November 5th by his agent. It's something that's being considered by the sporting directors at Barcelona, but obviously they've got all sorts of shite going on with this 1-1 rule and the finances and everything. But hey, now his agent's offering him to Real Madrid. And, if the player can't renew with Liverpool, he would be very, for joining one of these clubs. And basically he's waiting to see if anything comes back from Real Madrid. But that could be wishful thinking on Rami Abbas's part, to see if something comes in, because the article does emphasise that there would have to be a sale of one of the, like a forward or something or whatever, attack player. And I just read it and thought, I can't see Real Madrid doing that, but you never know. So, in a nutshell, that's it. I think that's it, guys. I even talked about, like, did I talk about it yesterday? The King's Cup semi-final draw. Yes, I talked about it yesterday, which I'm sure you're not that bothered about. Real Sociedad remain in that competition. And that's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this video online. I appreciate it's still 21 minutes long or 22 minutes long, but there's a lot of fucking stuff to go through here, which is why, I want to focus on the Luis Diaz claims in detail so you can see exactly what's being said. And for you to make your own opinions. I'm not saying you believe it or not. It's real, isn't it? You know what I mean? But also the Mo Salah one, I think, might be of interest to you. So I'll get this online. I will then work on those two videos for you. And yeah, so listen, I put a lot of fucking effort into this. I do, honestly. Someone was on here a few fucking months ago said, well, all he does is read the papers. I can fucking throttle him. Do you know what I mean? And I enjoy it. I absolutely love it. I do, guys. And if you can imagine... reading the papers each day. This is the print edition, by the way. This is not an online version. But what I do is I subscribe to all these publications so that I can get the regional variations as well. So, if you want to know about Mamardashvili, you would select the Valencia region, wouldn't you, rather than the Madrid region? Do you know what I mean? So it's good because of that. It saves money in the long run. And we still have... I can print these off into PDF, and it just really works for me. And you can imagine at the moment, the window's closed, it's Champions League week, so just talking about that more than anything. And as I go through each page, I'm thinking, there's going to be now in it, and then boom, here we are, and it's like, I don't know, it's like straight away it piques my interest. I'm like, right, what can I tell everybody? And I just feel like I'm giving you something different. Do you know what I mean? And I love getting out, because normally I'm just in here all the fucking time, But now, since I do the Spanish papers, I'm out every fucking morning. Well, not on a Sunday because it's closed. But yeah, I couldn't do it without your support. There's no way in the fucking world I could do it without your support. So, yeah, and I do think that, some people won't like these videos, but I do think that I know that people do like them as well, because they leave comments and have asked me to continue doing it. And like I say, it's not always about the... Liverpool players. It could be about a former Liverpool player. Maybe it's about Alonso, but we're also keeping an eye on Mamardashvili and seeing what his ratings are. Real Sociedad will play this evening. I will, keep an eye on that for you and let you know how he's doing. Some of you don't give a fuck about Zubimendi. That's fine. But I do. So I'll leave it with you. I will do these, get this online. I will try and do the other standalone ones if you've got time for that. I've tried my best to try and get this out as quickly as possible. All right, guys, if you appreciate this video, all right, I would love it if you'd give me a thumbs up. I don't really think it makes any fucking difference, right? But all the young punks, like, hey, thumbs up, subscribe, tick the bell and all that shit, just give me a thumb. We all love a thumbs up, girls, you know what I'm saying? Okay, that'd be really, really cool. And if you could leave me a comment, let me know what you think of what's in the video today. Do you find any of it of interest? Or are you just like, meh? Just propaganda, whatever. I don't, I'm not a div. Like, maybe I'm a div, but, sometimes people say to me, don't teach prop. And I'm like, do you not think that I, judge all these things as to, I believe it or not, I have a little bit of knowledge about it all. yeah. Anyway, thumbs up. Drop me a comment. Really appreciate a comment. I know some of you watch on Fire Sticks and can't. But yeah, I'm very grateful. And if you'd like to continue, like me to continue with this kind of stuff, please do consider supporting the channel if you're in a position to do so. I go to the cafe in the morning, 3 coffees to do. You know what I'm saying? Hit that love out, the bell under the video. It helps a brother out. Channel membership, usual dribble. There's read the video description. There's all sorts of things in the video description, social media connections, and also the mail. I send a newsletter out and shit like that. Stuff that don't go in my videos. All in all, yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, thanks, man. I hope you appreciate the vid. I hope you like it. Yeah, we'll speak soon. All right, I'm going to get on with the other ones now. All right, guys, take it easy. See you on here at 1 o'clock. Fucking hell, I've not got much time. 1 o'clock UK this afternoon. And tonight it's going to be 6:37ish or something like that. All right, come along for an answer and we'll see what's what. So, yeah, all right, speak to you in a bit. All right.